Now we will see the long-term behavior of this study was also also for the long-term behavior of CWR track. लॉन्ग टर्म में रियल न्यूट्रल टेम्परेचर में क्या फर्क आता है? As we all know that real temperature or the neutral real temperature may change with time, continuously welded rays, and changes are more where there is a creep noticed. When the creep is there, the changes are more. It is where train acceleration, braking, especially in combination with the grades, there the changes or the creep is more. There also the neutral temperature changes more. In sharp curves with the inward and outward mode, that is curve breathing. Curve breathing also results in change in the real neutral temperature. As a consequence of maintenance operations, due to maintenance operation also, such as tamping, de-stressing and ballast cleaning, the long-term real neutral temperature changes. The real neutral temperature in service may vary plus minus 10 degrees, and the general tendency is to shift the downward. मतलब rail will have general tendency of shifting the neutral temperature downwards, but it can be in the range of plus minus 10 degrees. Typical train loads. For the typical train loads and the track structure, the residual creep is within millimeters, within range of few millimeters. Especially when the heavy trains are there and the longitudinal residual displacement may reach to about 500 millimeter per year. जहाँ बहुत heavy trains हैं, in those cases the residual displacement may reach to about 500 millimeters per year. Thermal loading of turnouts at joining zones may have characteristic as longitudinal force in the switch rails zone may increase up to 50% in relation to thermal force in the straight track because of the restraint provided by the switch. Longitudinal displacement in the straight track reaches to 2 to 10 millimeters. It means that special protections are required in the turnouts laid on wooden sleepers. Longitudinal response due to elongation or the shortening of the bridge deck, it does not depend upon the service time. कितनी देर तक ट्रेन चली, कितने देर तक रही, इससे उसके ऊपर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Longitudinal shortening or elongation of bridge deck. There was in this study 21 tracks sections of the Poland and Hungary were selected. The track was comprising of sharp curves, steep gradients, passenger and freight operations, and it was observed for 9 months. And following conclusions were drawn. Changes in the rail neutral temperature during service may reach to 5 to 20 degrees centigrade, especially where there are sharp curves and the steep gradients. The changes in the neutral temperature generally forms a random variation without any distinct trend. कोई विशेष ट्रेंड नहीं है, सब random variation है. We will see. The concrete slipper LWR or CWR track gives the more stable rail neutral temperature. So in our case, we have almost 100% concrete sleeper track on broad gauge. There the rail neutral temperature is more stable with respect to wooden sleepers. In curves, it was showing that it was periodically. Variation in rail neutral temperature was showing the periodical variation. If we have a device of measuring the rail neutral temperature by accuracy of say plus minus 3 degrees and displacement measurement accuracy of 0.1 to 0.2 millimeter, that is sufficient to carry out the study. If we know the rail and neutral temperature, we can plan out the maintenance operations and also the technology which we can use for that particular maintenance operation. This is especially important if you know the rail temperature where we are doing deep screening with BCM. Many buckling have taken place behind the BCM and the track where deep screening has been done with the BCM. This is the short-term response at different point of time at different locations. Say on the x-axis it is the locations 50 meter, 100 meter, 150 meter, 200 meter, 250 meter, 300, 350. And this is the neutral rail temperature. Neutral temperature say when we starting was done, say there is a green dotted line. You can see the variation at different locations at different point of time, say at 6:30.
Zero is where, sir?
Huh?
Zero at where?
Zero is where the location, any location, it can be zero.
Oh.
It is a 350 meter stretch.
Okay.
So zero starting and this axis is the neutral temperature, say 32 degrees. For at 6:30 hours. So this green line is 6:30 hours line. Here the neutral temperature was varying at location wise. At different location it was different. Then say at 8:15, next day then say we will see 18 hours. 18 hours dotted line with the star. So dotted line with the star. This is the dotted line with the star, brown dotted line. This also having a similar variation with the location, different locations. So this only says that at different point of time, at different locations, rail neutral temperature is different. And it has got random variations. There is no pattern you can notice from this. Now we will see long-term behavior, long-term reference of change in neutral temperature. Here in the x-axis is dates, different point of time, and y-axis is the real neutral temperature, and different color of lines are locations are different. Say 290.3 location, 291, 291.3, 291.36, 291.41, 290. So different points on the track, different locations on the track. So if we see the time wise, so this is increasing, then decreasing, then increasing again. So this is the variation of real neutral temperature, time variation. At different point of time, the variation was like this. And at the same point of time, different location, this is also different. So this studies only says that real neutral temperature is different at different point of time and at different locations. Another long-term behavior is the seasonal one. Say the black line is October 96, September line is pink dotted line, and thin blue line is after May, say after de-stressing. So this initial line is after de-stressing, May 96, then October 96. May, September, then October. And this is a different point on the track. And this is the real neutral temperature. We can see initially after de-stressing, also there was variation at different locations. But variations were not that large. When we came in September, the variations are large. Say it has gone down, and then it has increased, and then again gone down, and like this at random variations. When we came in October, so real temperature has again increased. So this basically is telling that there is a lot of variation in the real neutral temperature at different point of time and different locations of the track. So this was what we have seen about the study conducted in Europe under the aegis of European Rail Research Institute, constituted by UIC, Union of International Railways. Now we will see the static buckling. We have seen the dynamic static buckling phenomena and factor of safety. This is what we are doing in Indian Railways in RDSO. That we have known that buckling is a sudden lateral shift, and in the straight track it forms S wave, and in the curve it forms C wave. The buckling formula is the buckling load. The load required, lateral load required for buckling has got three components. This is EI S divided by L square. This is the contribution of rails. This is the contribution of sleepers and fastenings. And this is ballast. So all three contributions put together will give the buckling load. What are these factors? IS is the moment of inertia of rails put together in horizontal plane. Horizontal plane में moment of inertia. L is the distance between contrafracture of the buckle track, that is half wavelength. This L is the half wavelength. C is the torsional coefficient of the fastenings. Fastenings का torsional coefficient. And D is the spacing of sleepers, capital D. Q is the amplitude of misalignment and capital R is the lateral ballast resistance. So the third one is the contribution of lateral ballast resistance. So with this formula we get the buckling load. This formula is modified to have two terms. So ballast resistance is separate, rails और sleepers और fastening का resistance एक साथ कर लिया. That is pi square EUQ upon L square. This is frame resistance. This is called frame resistance, track frame resistance, rail, sleepers, fastenings, and this is ballast resistance. Here EQ is the track frame resistance for particular wavelength of track. This is determined experimentally. And L is the half wavelength as we have seen. R is the lateral ballast resistance. Q is the misalignment of track over a half wavelength, that is amplitude of misalignment. In curves, lateral resistance is reduced, ballast resistance is reduced by this formula. R is equal to R dash minus 2 A alpha T, alpha delta T upon R. R is the small r is the radius of the curve. Delta T is the increase of temperature above stress-free temperature. A is the sectional area and E is the modulus of plasticity. Alpha is the coefficient of linear expansion. So this is the formula for buckling load. Then this term frame resistance is determined experimentally and lateral ballast resistance also determined experimentally. It was done in 1976 and then subsequently done in 2009. In 1976, the report was C152. C152 report was C152 and two reports were there in 2009 with concrete sleepers and 60 kg rails and concrete sleeper 52 kg rails with elastic fastenings. Buckling load is calculated for different wavelengths starting from 5 meters, 6 meters, 7 meters, 8 meters and minimum buckling load is determined. Then we find out safety against buckling. Minimum buckling load divided by maximum compressive force. कितना compressive force है, कितना maximum buckling load, minimum buckling load होगा. So maximum compressive force will be 2A alpha delta T. ये compressive force का well known formula है. 2 का मतलब दोनों रेंज मिला के. Then factor of safety against buckling will be, this is buckling load and this is maximum compressive force. So these are the values of frame resistance as per TM131. As you can see, for different spans, span means half wavelength. For different wavelengths, half wavelength, the frame resistance here in the first is given per sleeper. For sleeper spacing, sleeper spacing, it is sleeper spacing 55 centimeter, then 60 centimeter per center to center and 65 centimeter center to center. EQ is in 10 meter square. So minimum we can see here is we get at 5 meter frame resistance. Then it is increasing for different wavelengths. Are you able to appreciate? Is it okay?
Yes.
And these are the latest ballast resistance values as per the RDSO report. These are the values, latest ballast resistance, kg per sleeper after tamping. This is the time when it is the weakest. So any safety calculation, the factor of safety has to be done with the after tamping values. So these values are to be taken, and for consolidated track it was different. Now these are the calculations for factor of safety against buckling for half wavelength of 5 meter. And for different curve radius, these are the factor of safety against buckling for different zones. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4. And the least is 2.3. And for Zone 1, it is in the range of 4.60 to 4.13. For Zone 2, it is in the range of 3 plus. Here it is from 2.58 to 3.08, and here it is 2.3 to 2.8. So this is how the Excel sheet is worked out. So this is the plot of the factor of safety, how it is varying with the radius. Now we will see about the safety criteria as per UIC code. तो मिनिमम फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी क्या होना चाहिए ये कहीं लिखा नहीं है इंडियन रेलवेज में, बट नॉर्मली 2 से ज्यादा होना चाहिए. So now we will see different approach in the UIC code. This also includes the dynamic loading also. We will see the basic provision that safety assurance is when basically it is a performance based safety assurance criteria. CWR track should have sufficient strength to withstand loads applied by the environment, that is temperature, as well as the vehicle operationally, that is train loads. Again, this model that we have discussed, the ERRI report, the safety criteria is basically based on that, and lot of research has been done by European Research Institute, Rail Research Institute. Then basically model was developed and to form guidelines for safety. This we have discussed, this CWRI program. It also predicts the buckling model, buckling response characteristics. Here they have given a T allowable, concept of T allowable. Maximum temperature which can be allowed when the buckling will not take place. We have seen that T max is the temperature, maximum temperature where the buckling will take place. And this T max is different. This T max is the maximum temperature increased with reference to stress-free temperature. That is T max minus Tm. Tn is the neutral temperature. So T allowable should be more than the T max minus Tn. T allowable also can be termed as required buckling strength. T allowable की required buckling strength होना ही चाहिए for buckling not to take place. T allowable can be further used to form a criteria, safety criteria for buckling response. But as we have seen that Tn is not the fasting installation temperature, or at which we have carried out the stressing of rail. Tn is basically different from that. To take care of that, there is a safety delta T is taken as safety. This is Tn equals Tf minus SFTN. SFT is safety factor for change in neutral temperature. SFTN, safety factor. This can be between 5 to 10 degrees centigrade. तो Tn को इतना घटा दिया. Then these models were applied. Then we have T minimum, TB minimum we have seen in the curve, and TB maximum was there. That is used to determine the safety criteria. This chart, please have a look at this chart. This is the temperature above normal, Tm. Then this is the lateral displacement. So as we increase the temperature, there is a displacement, and here is the TB max. Then there is a point where TB minimum is there. Then for further increase in the temperature, there is an increase in the displacement. So this region you can see is the elastic region and the reversible deformation. Here, if we reduce the temperature, the deformation will come back. This is elastic zone. And this zone is the plastic and irreversible line. तो ये जो यहाँ का लाइन है वो irreversible plastic deformation. And this is the TB max. Above TB max is the certainty buckling. Buckling will definitely take place. And TB minimum is where there is no risk of buckling. Buckling will not take place. And the zone between T max, TB max and TB minimum is the risk. There are this graph is for good ballast, मतलब conditions where good ballast and poorly maintained, better maintained track, and this is for poor ballast and poorly maintained track. Here, the buckling curve will start before that. It will not reach to Tmax. It will before that, and there will be TB max and then TB minimum. And it can also, there can be no peak and TB minimum, then again this curve is there. So here the zone of risk of buckling is reduced. Above this zone is the certainty buckling and below this zone is risk of buckling. Here this buckling is called, phenomena is called progressive buckling. Like slightly plastic failure, like behavior of concrete. So for this also we need to develop the safety criteria. Now we will see. If there are any question, please go ahead. Otherwise, we will move further. This is the buckling energy concept. How much energy is required for buckling? So between Tmax and TB minimum, 50% energy where required is called, that temperature is called 50% buckling energy temperature. Say TB minimum, if we find out here, is about 45 degrees and TB max is about 90 degrees. But 50% of buckling energy will be slightly more than 40. or so. And the parameter for this UIC, rails is UIC 60 kg. Sleepers are concrete, radius 300 meter, misalignment 12 millimeter and 8 meter, cord or arm wavelength, torsional resistance medium, loading longitudinal resistance medium, axial load is UIC D4. So as we have seen that this can be Tmax minimum can be 45.45. This Tmax is 96.36. 8 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 8 meter cord is about the same as C category track of previously category of track. And normally machine made curve track should not have misalignment more than this. 12 millimeter, 8 meter cord is very high. Concrete sleeper with full ballast complement will have at least medium, longitudinal and lateral resistance. UIC D4 is similar to CC plus 8. And torsional resistance we can take it as medium for ERC Mark III or concrete sleepers. And this is UIC D4 loading. D4 is load is axial load is 22.5 tons. Loading density is 8 ton per meter. And this is the loading diagram. L is 11.35 just like box N, 10.713. And here is the allowable temperature. T allowable for different peak lateral resistance. This is the peak lateral resistance and this is curve. These are the lines of different radius of curvature. This line is of 200 meter. This is for 450 and this is for tangent track. So as the lateral resistance increases, T allowable increases. So if we have 15 kilonewton per meter, then we will have these values for different radius of curve. For these parameters, as we have discussed, the Tmax allowable temperature increase above specified temperature can be read from this graph. This is given in UIC code 720R. So if we see safety criteria xi equals to T allowable minus within bracket T max minus Tn, it should be more than 0. Xi should be more than 0. T max is the maximum real temperature which can be there in the particular section. Tn is the stress-free temperature, that is fast peak temperature minus SFTN. It is taken as 5 degrees in this example. Radius of track is 450. TF fast peak temperature 20 degrees and 12 millimeter is the light effect. What is T max? कितना टेम्परेचर मैक्सिमम हो सकता है? FP we have taken as 15 kilonewton per meter. From the figure we have seen T allowable comes as 45 degrees. Let us see, go back. 15 for 450. This is the 450 curvature and it will be 45. So T allowable is 45 for 15 degree curve. So for 45, so T allowable 45 substituted, then T max minus 15. 15 degrees, तो TF कहाँ से आया? TF is stress field minus 5. So 20 minus 5, 20 minus 5 is 15. So 15 is coming here. So the T max will be 60 degree. Maximum permissible temperature will be 60 degrees. With 60 degree temperature, track will be safe from buckling. And this is level 1 safety. All the T allowable, when the T allowable is TB minimum. And here it is level 2 safety for poor balanced and poorly maintained track. There it will be level 2 safety. It is 50% of the temperature at which the buckling energy is 50%. For Indian Railway stack, say for 325 meter radius and 200 meters, we can work out here. We can read it out from here. T allowable. Say for 325 it is 3 degrees and for 200 it is 41 degrees. For say 8 degree curves of KK line, so TD is 30 degrees and TF will be so real neutral temperature is TF minus TF. Then we have 35 minus 10 का, वहाँ 5 का लिया है, we have taken as 10. So Tn comes as 25. For T allowable is 41 degrees for 200 meter radius curve. So we take it as 41 degrees. And for 8 degree curves, it comes as 66 degrees. So maximum temperature above in the section is 50 degrees in this section. So we have margin of 14 degrees. 60 minus 52 is 14 degrees. So as per this criteria, it is safe to lay LWRL 8 degree curves on KK line. Similarly, for Kasara Ghat, this calculation was done and margin was seen as 13 degrees for 5.25 degree curve. Here the TN is 27 degrees. 37 is the distressing temperature, 10 is the SFT. So this is how we have worked out. We have discussed the stability of track, different criteria being followed. The static buckling also we have discussed, dynamic buckling and the parametric study for buckling behavior of curved track.